ES Audio.
Hello, I'm David Marsland, and this is the Evening Standard's Tech and Science Daily. Coming up, how to see the parade of planets. But first, you may have had some trouble hitting your favourite websites. Hundreds of big names like Just Eat, Fitbit and Discord were taken offline by an outage earlier. Content delivery network Cloudflare is taking responsibility, saying it was hit with service issues. Users were getting internal server error messages for around an hour while the company fixed the problem. The UN shifted talks on protecting the environment from China to Canada over COVID concerns, as critics say the negotiations are taking too long. The Biodiversity Conference began online in October last year, but hasn't yet agreed a plan to reduce the extinction risk of 1 million species. The talks are now due to conclude in Montreal in December, having supposed to have been held in Kunming last April. Now, a planetary phenomenon not seen for 18 years is coming. 5 worlds lining up to light the sky at dawn.
All of the planets in our sky appear in this rough line that we call the ecliptic. This is the sort of the relatively flat region of space where our solar system resides.
Dr. Greg Brown from the Royal Observatory says Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn will be visible to the naked eye, with June 24th the best day to see them.
But around about sort of 4 o'clock in the morning is roughly the time when you can see all of the planets at once. If you're not so bothered about Mercury, then you can go earlier in the night. It'll be darker, it'll be easier to see all of the other planets in the sky, but Mercury might not have risen above the horizon at that time.
The parade of planets isn't expected to be seen again until 2040, so get up early if you want to catch it. Next, we've been looking for alien messages in the universe's radio waves for decades, but a team of researchers are suggesting we can't hear ET because he's not using sound. A paper from scientists at Edinburgh University's School of Physics and Astronomy says life out there probably communicates with light transmitted at high frequencies. They think photons can travel huge distances across the galaxy with less chance of being distorted by things like solar winds. Similar, although basic tech's already being used here on Earth to improve communications in the finance industry. Alzheimer's disease could be diagnosed from a single brain scan, allowing it to be identified at an early stage. Doctors at Imperial College London have been using AI to look at parts of the brain not previously associated with the condition. They say the algorithm could replace the numerous tests and scans currently used to identify Alzheimer's, making the process much simpler and faster. South Korea has entered the space race. The Nuri rocket successfully launched from the Naro Space Center after a failed attempt last year. It's carrying 5 satellites that will carry out observation missions for the next 2 years. The country joins the US, EU, Japan, India and Russia among nations that have developed vehicles capable of carrying satellites. TV doctor Raj Singh's told the Evening Standard vaping, burning incense and even some cleaning products are causing pollution inside people's homes, and it's making your hay fever worse. He's partnered up with Breville for a survey that found 46% of people haven't heard of indoor air pollution, with 3 in 5 thinking it's only an outside problem. He's advising people to regularly open windows and use eco-friendly items to clean up. You can read more at standard.co.uk. Let's head to the ads now. Come back after the break to hear how the return of people to Stonehenge for the summer solstice went. Why not give us a rate and follow during the break? Welcome back. 6,000 people were singing and dancing at dawn at Stonehenge to mark the summer solstice. It's the first time in 3 years the event's been able to be held because of the COVID pandemic. English Heritage say they operated a managed open access system to the monument where rays of sunlight are channeled into the circle through the famous stone monoliths at the end of spring. Now, the hunt is on for a mate for London's only female beaver after her partner died. She was one of 2 Eurasians to be reintroduced to the capital in March. The species hadn't been seen in the wild in the city for 400 years. The male was found dead at their specially built enclosure in Enfield last week. He died of natural causes. The local council says it's looking for a replacement as soon as possible, with hopes the female will have babies by the end of the year. And finally, guitar icon Fender is bringing rock and roll to the metaverse. It's creating the Stratoverse with the company formerly known as Facebook, which will see users enter a Stratocaster-shaped island in the clouds. There, they'll be able to collect music chords and meet the riff maker to create their own jams. There's also a place to play air guitar. Fender's joining other big brands like Prada in Mark Zuckerberg's virtual universe. You're up to date. Check in with our sister podcast, The Leader, at 4 p.m. for the latest on the national rail strikes. We're back tomorrow at 1.